Alrighty, let's play this in full, but there's no sound. So you're gonna have to do with my random sounds. Cool dynamic stuff though. And this is why I picked it. It's neat. I also like before I go into the animation, I like the scale of the buildings, especially once we hear. Gives a really big sense of scale, how slowly they move in the back. And there's some really cool stuff. Just general posing is neat. And then picky stuff. I think the main thing I would say, if I had to change two main things, it would be, I feel like this is just too much. There's constant white stuff. Wings, especially this here. It seems like he is just so full of dust that wherever he goes, there's constant dust coming off. It almost feels a bit overdone in terms of constant stuff everywhere, including potentially, what is this here? We got a whoops. Yeah, there's a whoops in there. It just starts to get a bit, like the contrast is missing because it's always there versus there's a moment, there's an accent. Like doing something really fast, like through there, you could almost have multiples with some eyes and the head trailing. It goes into this, and maybe right through there would be the moment to add some, and then leave it at that. This just feels, I don't know, this to me, I'm not a massive fan of the amount. Even this here, it starts to feel like, what is there, like laser beams? Is there energy shooting out? Is it not just smears? Because this makes more sense because it's red and it feels like a smear with that, but then you have suddenly added yellow to it. So to me, it feels like I say let's keep it. Not that you have to change anything. It's not doing it for me anyway. I'm just saying the red I will keep. I wouldn't have the yellow, and just reduce the amount of white. Because then at the beginning here, they're also darker. So might as well keep it within that realm where this makes sense because of the surface and the color of all this versus that. I don't, that's just me. Other than that, there's some nice clean poses throughout. Maybe this feels a bit even where it's it takes a long time to get to this awesome pose right there. And then there's something where it just feels like 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. There's something where we could potentially shorten it. This feels a bit slowish. Into that. It's a short hold. Maybe this could be held a bit longer and potentially cheat the stretch that arm. Bring my head up here. Fingers out so that the knee is here, but then the thumb is here. Just a cleaner negative space for what's going on there. That's all cool. Maybe even pan and tilt over a little bit. We are super edgy on the right. And if I watch this, I think just a little bit more balanced. I like that it comes back. We're a bit more in the thirds. But it could have also added some neat maybe handheld effect or something so it's not so locked camera. Even though I like how then we can see that receding skyline. That's cool. But just for framing, maybe a little bit of a change there. This here, where I felt like, okay, hold on. We're going back rolls here. But then suddenly we are turning the pivot. We're still going backwards, but now we're just facing somewhere else. Low into this. I feel like that could have been tweaked a bit with like a sideways cartwheel into a roll. I'm not super sold on what's going on there physics-wise and mechanics-wise. Clean poses, though. The only thing I would say, it's a bummer that we're suddenly having a dark building. Because if I look back, that's the only one. So maybe it's an inverted normal, some texture problem, but it feels like that would be a great moment to not have it. Keep it gray so you have a nice silhouette seeing all of this. That's cool. This feeling-wise feels like we are dragging and then going forward. It's weird. Right when I said dragging, it made me think of what's the name of the actor? Does the dragging? Am I leading? Am I dragging? In Whiplash, who also plays J.K. Simmons in Spider-Man. Anyway, I'm blanking on the name. Apologize to the actor. Such a great actor too. Anyway, it feels like lots of energy there. Boom, goes forward, but then it feels like we would should be to go forward a bit more. And that's also why the leap. So we would be pushing this in my awesome drawing. So it's not all this energy, boom, and then we're locked here. It feels like momentum-wise, we would be, I'm going to pull this guy forward. That's cool. Into this. I really like this though. That is fun. That to me is just fun. This, the pose here into that. Maybe working on the silhouette a little bit. So it's not, I like this, that we can see the elbow. We understand the structure there. But then here it gets a bit muddy. So tangent there. I would bring that out. See the forearm so you understand the structure. Oh, that arm. Into this. That's cool. I like that. I like that little sideways land. Into this. And maybe this offset where it feels like we are now in twin lands. Not that twinning is always bad, not at all, but given that everything else is so dynamic, maybe an offset arm and maybe not in the face, so that offset will benefit right there to put the hand here and this a bit lower, so we clean this face into that, into the exit. That's that. So pick your things as always here and there. Very dynamic, lots of cool stuff, and as always, subjective notes on things here. But that is that.